So I'm Emma Whittle. I graduated from the University of Birmingham first time round as an undergraduate. I did an English literature and philosophy degree, and that was in 2011 that I graduated. And I did a master's degree in literature, culture and modernity, which I graduated in 2014. So after Birmingham, after my postgraduate degree, I worked in an office and as an administrator for a year or so before applying for a paid internship at Cheltenham Literature Festival in their programming team. I knew that I loved researching different ideas and learning about different aspects of culture. So from books and art through to sort of politics and social issues. So I thought this would be a really great opportunity to develop those skills. I've always struggled with mental health as well. So an internship seemed like a great stepping stone into a career path, just to give me a chance to try that out and get some experience, learning a bit more about the creative industries. So that was a 6-month internship. And then at the end of that process, I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to join the Literature and Science Festival programming teams as an assistant. And I sort of moved up into more senior programming roles over the last 6 years from there. So 2 years ago now, when I was a program manager, I created a project called Voicebox, which is a free program of events that aims to amplify the voices and priorities of young people and promote change. And this program now sits alongside the festivals each year as well. So very recently, actually, I've been promoted into a new role, which is my current role, which is the Programming and Strategic Engagement Lead for Literature and Science Festivals. It's a very long job title, but in a nutshell, I still continue to create and develop events and activities across the festivals for a range of different topic areas. I run Voicebox still, which I've mentioned, our programme for 18 to 30s. And I also now work on strategies that aim to sort of unpick how we can engage more people with arts and culture through these projects. So as well as that, I'm on the board of trustees for Seven Arts in Worcester. And I'm just really passionate about engagement with culture. And I love the potential arts and culture has to create change and improve our well-being. So I think that's something that really drives me in my job now. And that's where I am today. My industry is full of brilliant, supportive, incredible women. And I think I've benefited hugely from seeing that and learning from women in leadership roles. So I particularly enjoy that, working with other women in those kind of creative spaces, that it often doesn't feel like a job. I always say this, it often just feels like such a fun thing to be part of. And I think when you go from creating that event in your head and talking to your team and then bringing it to life and seeing the audience enjoying something that you've put together, I think that is just a huge privilege. So yeah, that's the main sort of driving force, I suppose, behind why I love what I do. So Voicebox really came about, I suppose, it was a need for more young people to be able to speak and share and have their voices heard, not just within our community in Cheltenham, but also further afield nationally. So we set up Voicebox. I mean, I kind of came up with the concept and developed it with the festival teams just before the pandemic, and actually it was put on hold, but following the pandemic, it kind of became more relevant than ever, because young people were going to be the most affected by what had happened over the past couple of years. So the idea was to create a really great space for people to share in culture and the arts, and sort of to demonstrate how the arts can be a vehicle for change. So giving young people the confidence to speak on stage, to share their creative ideas in lots of different ways, to learn from inspiring voices from across the country, and just really kind of bring that creative energy together and engage with more people from whatever walk of life, from different backgrounds and experiences. That's really where it came from. Earlier, I've benefited hugely from sort of seeing and learning from women in leadership roles, which I think is quite a common thing in the creative industries. I think there's a lot of women in this industry, and I think that has in itself promoted a great working culture, you know, with men and women across that industry. But also, I think that saying that there is definitely a need to promote more diversity in the creative industry. So I think just that's such an important part of why we need to share these opportunities as widely as possible, and I think just encourage as many people as possible to take a leap into an industry that is really welcoming. I just think that's hugely important part of what I do, and I really care about that.